Good morning, welcome along to the National Hockey Centre in Glasgow as we've got a fantastic week of hockey. It is the EuroHockey Championships 2. Some decent European sides on show looking to get promotion to the top tier of European hockey. And we've got a blockbuster of a start, 4 games throughout the day. Start with Russia against Switzerland in just a few moments' time. Wales are up against the Czech Republic later on at 2 o'clock. Ukraine against Portugal is at 4:15, and the big one for the home fans here, Scotland, the host nation, they're up against France. France, one of the two sides that have came down into the second tier for this 2017 competition. So let's look at the sides then, and for Russia, well, side predominantly home-based, but they do have some decent players. One of the higher-ranked teams here, Myron Kyrulin, was one of the joint top goal scorers at the World League with 3 goals. Yaroslav Loganov is the 29-year-old with 160th cap he'll be earning today, and Simon Matkovsky is another scorer in this side, including in the the World League game against Switzerland in that previous competition. For the Swiss side, well, they were here last year at the World League 1 phase. Actually didn't make it through, but got a little reprieve and made it to World League 2. Jan Hurdle was the top goal scorer in World League 1 and 2. Nick Schwer was a lively player here in Glasgow and one to watch. Manuel Keller is the captain, 92nd cap here. He will be making today. It's a fairly settled side. One or two experienced heads that maybe were familiar to the Swiss side have not been involved or aren't involved for this. Patrick Muller, who's another goal scorer, playmaker. Fabian Vollschläger was getting on a bit, 35 years old he was last year here. He isn't involved this time around in this Swiss side, but has been a great servant. So that's the lineups there on the field, as you can see. And it's now time for the anthem, starting with Russia.
Please remain outstanding for the Swiss national anthem.
So there are the anthems, and we're just moments away from the first match of the week. It's going to be a very busy week, 20 games for today. Alongside myself, Callum Patterson, we've got a great calibre of co-commentators, and starting us off with this one, Russia against Switzerland, alongside myself is top level FIH official Martin Monahan. Martin, great that you're here. You're looking forward to this game in the week?
Certainly the week. This game, absolutely. Really looking forward to seeing how Russia perform in their first game. Really expecting them to bring a lot of pressure to bear on the Swiss today. But look, as far as the week's concerned, lots of top hockey, lots of opportunities, and you know, absolutely the place to be today, I think. Yeah, well, I did touch on that France were one of the sides that have dropped into this level. The other one was Russia, and they're the two highest ranked sides here. But I don't know if rankings mean an awful lot. Switzerland were here, World League 1 last year, played well, just a bit behind level how Scotland and Wales played that week. Got a bit of a reprieve to get into World League 2, performed reasonably well. They're a side that made one or two little changes, but still a similar kind of lineup, and they did play some good stuff last year, so hopefully it should end up being an entertaining game. I think so. Switzerland played in their Scotland game. I thought they did very, very well in that game. They ended up losing, but played really well, really pushed Scotland. So for me, lots of talent there. And they did get through to the next round of the World League, admittedly, as a result of other circumstances.
Well, they did meet each other in the World League 2. Russia did win 4-1. So that could be a little bit of an omen, but this is a little bit different. It's an overcast day in Glasgow, and it's good to see that filtering into this level. We're going to be playing 4 quarters. It's been a thing really at the top tier of hockey in the last year or two, but now it's coming to fruition here. So 4 long busting quarters of 15 minutes ahead, which should be rather exciting. Could be new to one or two who are not too regular with it. And we're nearly set to go here for the first match of the day and the week. Pool stage, of course, in this phase, and we are underway, and it is Russia in the white predominantly to get us going. So in this pool, Russia, Czech Republic, Switzerland and Wales. Pool B, this is Pool A, France, Ukraine, Scotland, Portugal. Say there'll be, I'm sure, a great crowd later for the Scotland side, host nation Wales. I'm sure we'll bring a few up, not too far to travel, but there's a few in the stand watching this, and thanks for joining us for our live coverage. We're here with all the games all week. Mikhail Proskurikov with some early possession deep. Here he is once more for Russia to thread something forward. There's Morard in there just to disrupt things early on in the Swiss defence. Fabio Marielli makes the decision, so we'll get a little bit of breathing space while the Swiss.
Interesting to see how Russia handle the Swiss defence here. Expect them to really press them, certainly for the first few minutes anyway.
Kai Rulin, who is a goal scorer for this Russian side, trying to drive on, but didn't last too long. It's rather aimless. Came right to logging off the captain. Forward went to Kai Rulin. Bit of a slip, but Kai Rulin continues in an excellent early save to deny Russia in the first couple of minutes.
Low to the goalie's right hand side, difficult one to get down to, especially so early. Spotted it.
Kovsky trying to work it in now. There's Morand. Held it up initially. High and long from Greda. Just a little too long for Boris Stomps. The fetching a little headband on. Skunikov made the initial run, looking to try and win it back here. All high in the air. Xavier Fenert and Jamie Hooper, the two umpires for this. I'm sure you've got a beady eye on them there, Martin.
Jamie's been spending a lot of time in Glasgow. His last various appointments have been here. Well Kent face to the crowds. Xavier I haven't seen for a number of years since I met him in Saint-Germain many years ago, but highly experienced French umpire.
Little tussle and the two appeals to umpires, which ball is going to fall back for the Swiss, and Marielle looking to take it on quickly. Michael switching it across for Michael Morard. Morard, oh, it's going to funnel its way. Can they get the keeper? Came lashing out. Did Gaffarov. And they got away with it. Did Russia? It was a sneaky little running behind.
Keeper was making sure he got there.
Yeah, Jan Hudel, the danger man for Switzerland. Forward, skips away by Nick Schwer, as I mentioned at the top, a player who was a real playmaker for the Swiss side here in Glasgow at the World League One last campaign. Kunikov is making the roving run once more, once or twice he's done that, trying to help it on with Kornilov, but losing out. Martin Grader again trying to help with a clean-up job. Found support in Yves Morard. Russia 21st in the world ranking. Fired in by Loganov, still in the edge of the circle. Anton Kornilov had support, and it's going to be played right across the face of goal. And it was Andrei Kuriev trying to get a stick out, but hadn't quite found its way into the goal. First time Swiss have been caught out in the behind.
Back post, we'd expected to have done better there. The goal was gaping. Nice work from Marco Schell to keep his path. Marielli back. It went to Keller, the captain for the Swiss side. Joachim Golubev, and he's still in the tussle, still remains with the side in white. That is Russia with a little red and blue flares. Skuryakov goes back. Forward from Konstantin Nikitin. We'll go back to Piskarikov. Switch of sides here for Anton Kornilov to try and work in again. He's running out of space again, but a couple of times now Russia just starting to wheel in behind the Swiss defence. Managed to break his stick there. Running off a quick stick change.
Good work. 7 minutes or so into the competition, you've already broke one stick. Here's Jan Hudel now though for the Swiss, trying to break away. Gail Vaishoda, one of the two Vaishodas in the squad. Benoit Vaishoda was here last year, but Gail's an up-and-coming star, another up-and-coming star for the Swiss side. A more regular piece in the team. That was Benoit Vaishoda, just trying to keep it on his path and through the other channel. Come back here, they're trying to get on with it quickly. Yves Morar trying to hammer it in. Boris stomps, and it's into a good area there, and one or two groans from the crowd.
Looking for that small touch, just enough to take it past the keeper, who wouldn't have a chance at that pace.
Good idea. Might fall kindly here and does for Marco Michael. He's taking a little bit off the pressure they've faced over the last few minutes and trying to get something going the other direction. Keller stumps for Yves Morard. Good cut out there by Loganov, experienced head. Nikolai Komarov foul there. Little brief talking to from the umpire. That was a steady warning for Jan Hurdle.
Quickly got out to the side of the umpire there and ran off the pitch. He knew he was a bit naughty there.
Skabersky trying to keep it and held it for his side in the duel with his opposite number, Marielli. Russia, it's their turn again. Nice, and almost fed through. Is it going to fall kindly in the circle? Well, Stefan trying to stop it, and away it goes, and just anywhere will do. That was nice little couple of quick moves, swift moves, as changes start to roll through for both sides on the sidelines with their own subs.
Mass substitution there. Very much the style.
Like a dance being coordinated, everyone on and off very, very quickly. Keller couldn't keep it in his tracks. That goes to Alexei Mayorov. Forward for Anton Kornilov. And on that side, Mayorov thrashing it off Jonathan Abel. Skapersky. Back it goes with Venom from Artem Borisov. Is it going to stay here? It is. Can they set it up? Anton Kornilov was waiting for it, but smothered away again by the Swiss.
The Russians are definitely getting in round the back of the Swiss. That'll be a worrying sign for them, particularly on the left-hand side.
Again, down that channel it goes. Schneider was juggling around a bit, but got away with it for the Swiss side and half cleared. Twist and a turn from Artem Borisov. Pavel Golubev. Borisov was in the support. Forward from Barkovsky. Golubev again was trying to keep his path and away from danger once more in the most unhandsome way. Yves Morard right in that corner to that respite. Swiss had their 2 or 3 minutes roughly of pressure, but Russia are certainly the best of this first quarter. Skabersky all the way across circle, and out came Jonas Forrest. Russia intercept it back here. Kai rolling, just nipping in behind to disrupt things. Mikael Morard. Looking off went to the left with Oscar Auerf. Kai rolling. Nice movement. Yeah, the sticks clattering. Kovsky trying to feed it through, still will stay with Russia. Hartner straight in the air for the appeal. Latinov goes left. Alexander Skapersky. Nice play. Puskuranov is in a fall somewhere. Keeper's trying to smother it. Oh, and it kind of weaseled its way in and out, but out it went.
Well taken by the Swiss defence there. Stopped it running across to the penalty stroke area. Fortunate that it went over the baseline and not into the goal. Would have been a counter. Lovely defence.
Mikhail Proskurov gets going for it as we're into the final minute of this first quarter. Skapersky firing it. It come off an arm, well, away it goes. Proskurov went wide again. That left channel, as we mentioned, hasn't a lot of joy. Borisov and Mayorov trying to make the run. Skapersky. And that's going to trail away, and that will do probably for the first quarter here.
Run the clock down for the last few seconds. Swiss would be happy to come out of this on a 0-0.
So an interesting first 15. Been a fast old start, no goals for either side. As both sides get a brief breather for a couple of minutes. No goals, but in the balance of play, certainly Russia have had the better of it. The higher ranked side here, but bar a couple of minutes maybe in the middle, Russia have been very much full of possession and half chances.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and particularly that left channel. A lot of work being done down there. Bringing it round along the baseline, looking for the back post men. That would appear to be their game plan, certainly for the time being. Switzerland really need to work on that, I fear. Although from their perspective, they had a solid 4 or 5 minutes midway through. Worked their way out there.
So that is the sides getting some of the chance after the first quarter. There is one or two of the chances. Russia certainly predominant so far with their movement and the end behind. This was what a rare one on the right side, but they have been doing this the whole of the first quarter.
Yes, that was the just missed on the back post.
This was a moment, probably the only half chance Switzerland have had in that spell where they did have a bit of possession.
Spodel being naughty. Won't be any more of them in this game. Certainly not for the Swiss.
There was another one. Again, Proskuranov was trying to rattle one. It did say it came from the left side and it came off a stick and went wide. I think it might have came off a Swiss stick actually, but that was a dicey moment. Well, we talked about the left side, but they've actually, when you think, they've had a couple of moments on the right side, so both channels they're inflicting damage, the Russians, which Swiss will need to maybe had a little chat about in that couple of minute break.
Some marvellous 3D skills coming down the right hand side, very much lifting it a couple of feet off the deck, working his way through. Look forward to more of that.
So here we go then for the second quarter. Pool B game, the other Pool B game afterwards at 2 o'clock is the Czech Republic against Wales, and then we've got the two matches from Pool A. France 17th in the world here. Russia, I should say, 21st in the world. Russia 17th of the highest rank. Russia the second ranked side here, 21 in the world. And Switzerland 28th. They've had a good spell. We're 30th this time, roughly last year, so it shows that with a bit of progression, a bit of luck into World League 2, they have made little gains. As the rain comes on, it's a summer's day in Glasgow.
Well, Scotland and Switzerland have had a good year in the rankings. Both progressed significantly. Both had good runs. Scotland around further.
Good run from Nicotine. Nice little bit of play for the Swiss to try and break away through Grader in that channel. Florian Feller with a nice little verse and pass through. Marco Michael. Yves Morard switches it round. Forward for Jan Hudel. Yves Morard. Man goes to Sebastian Schneider. Trying to wriggle it through the D. Jan Hudel was looking in anticipation. Almost came through the gap. Storm's trying to keep it alive. Mikhail Morard too, but Russia could capitalise on the break. For Andrei Kuriev. Try and win it back from Martin Grader.
He wasn't getting a lot of help there from his teammates.
Good run in this, and nice ball, and it's a decent effort and goal from Marek Kairulin. Goal scoring machine for this Russian side.
Telling interception from the goalkeeper's stick there. Russia sliding in at the back post. Excellent.
Seaman was trying to weave through, but just carry off. Goes a different route now. Borisov, Kairulin turn and to reverse it. That was high and away.
Lovely turn there, just had half a second to spin round, pull in on the tomahawk. Just unlucky, didn't quite catch it, sailing over the crossbar in the end.
Forward to Miguel Proskaryov it went. Support further forward. Good turn from Komarov. Good strength to carry on. There's some space there on the outer edge of the D, but not found. I've seen Mayorov was waiting, but still continues with Komarov. Weaving around and lurking too was Anton Kornilov in front of the keeper.
Excellent defending from Switzerland not to give away. Corner there, sticks down, guarding feet. Frustrating the Russian strikers.
A little eye off the ball there from Russia, and Konstantin Nikitin has given this to Switzerland and Jan Hudel. Nice turn. Bit of a hit and hold trying to get through, but did help the Russian players, so it will stay with the Swiss. Driven forward, helped on its way by Keller. That's going to dribble away. Back it goes, and we'll try another manoeuvre. Both Mirards link up Yves to Mikel. Yves Morard. Fire at some pelt.
Just got the deflection exactly to plan. Went wide, but that's what they were looking for. There we go. Could so easily have gone. Swiss were very comfortable about going for the direct route one approach there around the D. They're not really going for moving the Russians about too much.
I guess they're trying to take any chances they can. Russia have had a lot more possession, and Switzerland, if they can get the ball forward, try something a bit different, try and pinch a goal. Nice space here for Schneider. It's been a bit of help, Schneider. Mikael Morard out to the Morard Yves. Mikael losing that, and now counter time. Oskarayov right to Laptev. White bodies flooding into the circle. That's cut out though. All the red jerseys came back as well, and it was Nicholas Stefan that did the job there, and here he is, and now break for the other side. Can they help in this way? Benoit Vaichota was there and was in the right spot, but smothered by the keeper.
Again, that Route 1 hockey really paying off now. Straight down the middle again. Deflection, keeper taking it well.
Excellent stuff from Andrei Ivanov. Mikael Morard, the turn to roll forward. Certainly just inched away back in it. Haven't really changed their style going forward, but find a touch more possession to try and be that little bit more influential in their sort of Route 1 directional play. But Russia is now their turn to counter. Golubev still going. It's rattled off some feet there, I think, and Russia will claim it back. Good work, Golubev held up well. Spin from Zamalutinov, and umpire blows that one.
Obstruction, the striker ran in front of the defence of another striker in front of him, couldn't make the tackle. Lovely soft skills around that though from the top of the D in, spinning around, almost found the space to where he wanted to get to legitimately. Sadly his colleague causing the obstruction.
Schneider kept that in, and it's going to be some job to keep that one in, but nice idea. Schneider with the Nuremberg club. Up the other end, here come Russia, control from Kyrulin, and again smuggled away. Very end to end this quarter.
Certainly is. To the advantage of the Swiss, I suspect. Russians much more comfortable, starting slowly, building forward, then pouncing down the left.
And here is a chance for Schwer if he can control. Needing some help. Jan Hedel is coming in. Keeper is all over the place. Jan Hedel, can he get it in? Yes, he can. And they have smuggled a goal. Their play on the break has been rewarded. Better second quarter from the Swiss, and they have scored.
Wonderful support play there, coming from very deep. Ran straight into the D, received it. Look at that. Possibly could have fallen over, kept going. Scud. Wonderful support, wonderful goal.
Excellent from Jan Herdal. One of the main players that plays for Rot-Weiss Vettingen, was the top scorer in World League 1 and 2, scored 3 here in Glasgow, 2 in World League 2, so we've got 5. And well, what a moment. Looking to try and twist and turn. Mikamorar trying to get it down the channel. Gurev's got to watch the eyes behind his back. Keller trying to rove around the outside of Trichkovsky. Nice work, and Stomps trying to keep it alive. Fella. Tell you what, a bit of wind in their sails now after taking the lead. The Swiss pretty confident now.
Absolutely. Russians not sure how to take this. Everything was going their way for virtually all the first quarter, into the really deeply into the second quarter. Suddenly, change of game plan required, perhaps.
Guess maybe half time might help them out as well. Just a 10-minute variation, but still time left, just under 3 minutes in this second quarter. Thanks for joining live coverage at the National Hockey Centre Glasgow for the first match of a whole week of games from this EuroHockey Championships 2. And Russia trying to reply, trying to get back into the top tier, but behind tier against the Swiss. Twist the turn in towards the D, and away it goes by Kai Rulin and Samuel Latinov, who were in the D but not near the ball.
Late reaction from the right hand side of the pitch. They wanted to be there. Always assume the striker is going to do what's required and put it across the front of the goalkeeper.
Logging off to Zalitinov. Alexei Mayorov now. Across to Konstantin Nikitin. Obstruct, I think, there, the umpire. It's been switched around. Bodies all over the place.
Stick fencing.
Smarard's pass didn't find anyone in red. Just looking to try and keep a bit of the possession for the last 70 seconds or so left in this second quarter. Up long it goes. Oh, it might fall kindly for Laptev. Keeper came out again. It's a misjudgment. Laptev almost fell in behind. Here he is for now. Nice tidy stuff from Gale, very sure that to nip out the danger for Manuel Keller into the final 30. Kilmore just a bit of keep ball, and that'll do for the second quarter, and that is half time here in the first match of this EuroHockey Championships 2. Jan Hurdle with the opening goal of the competition for this year, and in this game in the 25th minute, a surprise could be in the offing really, because Russia, the higher ranked of the two sides, side that came down to the second tier. Swiss, though, we do know they are a decent side where they can hold it off for the whole game. We will see, but certainly it's thrown a bit of a span in the works, and it could well be a really exciting second half.
Indeed. Russia had the possession, they had the number of chances, they had every opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net themselves. Few squandered. Swiss roll up the pitch, real first substantial chance, put it away.
Yeah, so first quarter, Russian chances with all the possession. There's a few that we've seen, and half chances you could say, but certainly we're getting in behind through the channels. Second period, still Russia with most possession, but the Swiss had their moments. That was about their only rare moment in the first quarter, but the second period, the ball was working so well. This was another good chance on the counter. They were making more use of the counter and getting 2 or 3 bodies there to make things happen, and this was the moment.
See the support from Odell coming from deep, collecting and coming through.
And then he collected it, was the support was there, but then he had to try and juggle it. Bodies coming in, found the gap through. And well, he is the top marksman in terms of goals. A little bit of defending to do towards the end, but certainly it shapes up for a really exciting second period, because maybe slight underdogs, or certainly underdogs in this tie, are ahead at half time. There's Russia 0, Switzerland 1. We'll be back shortly for the second half.
Feels a surprise.
I actually have to 4 minutes. Are we clear at lunch? Get ready for the second half. Yeah, we've been outside. They've been pictures taken. Give us the instruction. Good boys.
اسمنا مشيل Boys, what's mit Jay jetzt?
Okay, and welcome back for second half coverage. It's the first match of the EuroHockey Championships 2, and it is Russia 0, Switzerland 1. Top level FIH official Martin Munnins alongside myself, Cal Patterson, for this second period, third quarter to come. And just talking there off air about the fact that we're really geared for an exciting second period. The Swiss in World League 1 last year gave test to Scotland and Wales, who were the two kind of favourite sides to go through, and Switzerland did eventually get through, but the thing with Switzerland, they seem to just tire out, fizzle out a little bit later on, so the test will be whether they can keep their heads and go forward for the final two quarters. A bit of a false start, but underway for the third quarter. So, as I say, it should be an exciting old second half, 2 quarters here if Switzerland can keep in this.
Yeah, a real team talk for Russia there. Everything going their way, coming out 1-0 down. See if they change their game plan, whether it will still be forcing down the left and then creating their chances from the right.
And here they are then with Kurev needing some help. All around then it's going to be a penalty corner, and it's taken until the third quarter to get one for the morning into afternoon for the first game. But we've got one now, and a chance for the side trailing in the early stages of this quarter.
Yeah, a bit of a miscontrol there from the defence. Half took it, glanced off the foot. Penalty corner.
So, of course, under this 4 quarters rule, clock is when it's stopped, as it usually is anyway, for these penalty corners, while the Swiss side get themselves ready. Kurev across there, so who is going to step up? Umpire's whistle goes.
Yeah, breaking the line.
See you later.
Breaking the line from Switzerland there. Off you go.
He knew it as well, didn't he? He was away off.
Yeah, he kept going. Quick huddle from the Russians. Expect the ball to be moved around the D here. Options definitely on.
Jan Hudel is away back to the halfway. So take 2. Looks like the same result. It's smothered away. Malkowski with initial strike, but then followed up, and it is the equaliser for Russia. It hasn't taken them long to respond.
No, they still went for the straight strike.
Sergei Spichkovsky, I think that was it. Just wheeling in underneath. Full turn to twist in and make it 1-1. And to the bell. No chance for the keeper there.
Turn, just a reverse stick. Hit. Keeper a wee bit annoyed with himself. Don't think he could have seen it.
So, the reply was very quick from Russia. And we are back on level terms. And maybe we'll be back to the form book with that equaliser settler for the side who are looking to regain top flight status, if the week can go to plan for them. One or two other sides may well have something to say about that. And there is a goal scorer. Spichkovsky across goes and down to Let's not for long.
Full press from the Russians here.
Boris Stump's trying to wriggle away.
Clearly decided they're giving the Swiss no time on the ball for this half. No time at all. Forcing it to go forward, not round the back.
Here's Spichkovsky once more, trying to barge out Stomps. Good work defensively from Yves Morard. Here he is again. Stomps found Nikitin. Oskarov along, deft, a little chip it up in the air. Malkowski. Haran Mamayarov, is it going to fall here? And just away from the target, Andrei Kuriev. And they've found the second wind in this third quarter.
Really pressuring. Really pressuring.
Not far away. Switzerland looking to try and reply. bit like the first quarter of this again, how the Swiss struggling to get anything. Yves Morard. Nice space opening up for Reinhard. Doesn't last too long, but that was a bit quick. And very quickly back with the Swiss, but Yves Morard was always under pressure. Now Kai Rulin, and there's a break on here for Russia. Blazetsky's across, Kai Rulin went for himself, and I wonder if maybe one or two of his teammates are thinking that's maybe a little selfish.
Two on one at that point, want to be using the one where possible. He takes it himself. Fantastic shot, does hit the metalwork, but sadly inside posts.
Keller, come back with him. Going to get round Kornilov. In the end, it didn't really come to anyone, and the right colour for his side. Long for Laptev. Kept it under his path. 4-5 Swiss bodies pressing, including Reinhard, who was on one of those long runs, but that's been cut out too easily. Golubev with the feet of Schneider. Golubev working it in well. Skiperski, and frustrating moment for him.
Created his space, faked to the right, pulled it back to his back stick, didn't connect, scuffed it over the bar.
Yves Morard funnels through, and it was Gail Vaishoda felt him, just tried to spin and get a shot away.
Unexpectedly came to him, reacted well, spun, took the reverse shot, keeper ended up nice height for the keeper.
Nice movement from Sandro Reinhard. Martin Greder switching for Michael Morard, and it went looking for Stefan, but Nicotine there defensively, gobbling it back. Oh, is it going to fall through here? It might do. Kornilov is through. Can he make it 2-1? No, he can't. And it took a bit of fortune, it came through, but not quite the end product.
Wonderful deflection pass from the right winger to deflect it into the path of the striker at the top of the D. Absolutely wonderful.
Big moment there for Russia. Got themselves back in level terms earlier in the quarter. Corner went from Zamalutinov. Kornilov goes into the D. Little obstruction sign, so that will better quickly go back to the Swiss as we're into the final 6 minutes of this third quarter. Really engaging game this, and Russia have certainly brought themselves back in level terms. Switzerland aren't out of this yet, still in with a chance of trying to get themselves a surprise scoreline to many.
very similar pattern to the first quarter. Russia, for the first quarter here, for the first half of this quarter, really pressed the Swiss. Swiss had nothing as a result of that. All Russia. Then, for the second half of this quarter, they've stepped back, they've allowed Swiss to play the ball around. Swiss have managed to get into the game, create a few chances of their own.
Jan Hudel back, trying to sweep it back, but Zalotino did well to keep it for Russia. There's Hudel again doing some defensive work. Hoisted high, but not anyone other than a red body of Yves Morard, and now Switzerland try and find their next wave. Yves Morard has wanted it back, but it's going to stay on the far side with Keller. Nice pirouette and movement, and that comes down very quickly.
The last two penetrations by the Swiss, the final pass on both occasions has been high and dangerous. Really unfortunate, but need to do something about that.
Forward from Borisov. Here's Marat Kairulin. Looking maybe for the 1-2, but Martin Guder again in there. Experienced head, but still quite young in age, 24. Should make his 50th cap some point this week. 48 now. Kowski, little argy-bargy, but he carries on, the goal scorer. Skipped away from Mayorov. Florian Fella on the runaway. A little stoppage, and it's going to be a green card here. First one of the game and of the week for Russia. So they're going to have a brief spell. Zalotynov is off for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, looked like a bit of a breakdown there from the Russians.
Big chance here, the last couple of minutes of the third quarter for the Swiss.
Green card, 2-minute suspension.
But here comes Skiberski. It's found its way through, and I think he was in a couple of minds. I thought he was going to play it in for Kairulin. In the end, neither really happened, and it skittled wide.
Halfway between the two options available to him.
Puszkowski, nice space here for Skaryov. Maybe looking for it back, trying to get it back. Penalty corner, came up off a foot of the leg, and well, this is one way to just try and take the steadiness out of the green card. They've actually played themselves into a good position here, and we see what happened there in the quarter. They got a goal from a penalty corner situation.
Yeah, they certainly appear to have their corners off pat. Lovely view from behind the goal.
Lovely view of the rain as well. It is still tearing it down, don't see here, as the Swiss side are ready for this Russian penalty corner. We've seen how influential it was last time. Nikitin, and it's brilliant, it's absolutely brilliant. Konstantin Nikitin, and they've turned it around towards the end of this third quarter. 2 goals, 2 from similar sort of spots, different scorer this time, it's 2-1.
Yeah, decided it was runner was too fast out for him that time. Last minute change of plan, drops it onto the left, drops his shoulder, reverse stick onto the far post. Wonderful reaction to an unexpected set of circumstances on the corner.
Will that take the wind out of the Swiss sails? They've got another quarter left. Still in this, but Russia, through a bit of grit really, they've had plenty of possession, played some good stuff at times, but maybe not at top gear quite yet early in the competition, but they can't afford, I guess, a bad result with so many good teams in. Swiss have their capabilities on a good day as well, so
less chances in this half, and yet those chances that have come along, Russians have taken them.
Switzerland looking for a quick reply, still with the man advantage. Mikkel was in there, Marco Mikel. Kurev though managed to wriggle out, and long striding run of Ryczkowski. Nice turn as well. Took his time to find the support, which came in from Skapersky. Well, Lucen remains with Russia.
Move set up, wonderful crossfield scoop, out of defence under pressure, launches one to the far right hand side, almost instantly Russia on the attack in space. Zalotino back on from his green card. May well get this in a moment. Certainly provide an option for Oskarov, but instead goes back the way into the final few seconds of this third quarter. Borisov, Kyrulin. Don't think they're going to get the chance to get this in, because there is the hooter. And well, a turnaround for Russia, and a bit of bother at half time. But Spitchkovsky and Nikitin with goals, both from penalty corner situations, and both proving crucial here. There's still a quarter to go, but Russia with the lead now, and well, certainly balance of play, chances, can't fault them, and they deserve their lead, but certainly showed a good response from the half-time being behind. Russia came out, took the penalty corners well. They did. For the first period of the second quarter, did exactly what the game plan was, came out, put them under pressure, took the chances, which was a big difference this time.
Well, there was the first goal you've seen there for Russia, and then chances came coming. That was a good chance, never quite worked out. Then there's one or two others coming in. This was a 2-on-1, and kind of thrashed that, really, that one.
That should have been played in front of the keeper to the back post. He knew that.
This was a surprise little chance which came up. Vice Shoda didn't work out, but one of the rare chances. And this was another break.
There's a deflection inside to the striker. Great vision.
In that case, good keeping, good smuggle away. This was the next penalty corner. It almost seemed quite a slow motion goal. It looked like it was going in as soon as it came to Nikitin. There's so much space open up there.
With the extra player having been sent to the halfway line.
So that is the goals confirmation there that it is 2-1 to Russia. And we have 15 left in this Pool B game, and we've got plenty of action throughout the day here, so hopefully you're with us for the long haul. Another game in Group B is next up, Czech Republic against Wales at 2, and it's Ukraine against Portugal, France against Scotland, both of them in Pool A. There's Loganov and Kovsky, who has spotted a great deal of space. Nice interline, can they in the back here? Kyrulin is wanting it back. Quite in the D, but Kovsky will try and get on with this very quickly and put the pressure on. A third goal would, you'd think, put things near enough to bed. It's into a good spot, and Andrei Kurev didn't quite get the control he wanted. There's a view from Berest, the Swiss keeper. Nice stuff from Stefan, not for long though. Pavel Golubev in a bit of a sandwich. Crowd looking to race away, of course, opened the scoring with some excellent play. Yves Morard. Marco Michel goes to no one in the colour that he wants. I'll come back to him. Grader. Good space spotted, he may well want it back here, but here is Hurdle, who will try and take on himself and runs out of the baseline, and that's chance over. Now at the other end, nice ball here for Kuriev to try and finish it. It was Kyrulin making the run, Kuriev was waiting, and spurring chances here, Russia.
Classic counter-attack. Route 1 hockey down to the right, plays it straight into the striker, takes it early. Really unfortunate just to pull it wide. So will now be spaces. Switzerland realise they have to push that little bit harder, take advantage of the space that they are given, but there will be gaps left.
The Swiss do know, however, that this Russian side, the kind of long ball or in-your-face tactics going forward, they're not too clever with that. And here is Storms trying to go direct and forward again. Jan Hurdle now to wriggle in. Oh, and a penalty corner as well. 1, 2, 3 moments of incident. The umpire is pointing to it, and chance here, first penalty corner for Switzerland.
Successive fouls.
I think it may well have been Loganov back there, maybe using too much of his mental experience. He was one of the defenders. So Manuel Keller heads across for the injection. Yves Morard around. Marco Michel too. And it's tripped through. Jan Hurdle there looking for the rebound. It was Nick Schwer with the initial hit. And up the other side, Russia break away. But the chance from the penalty corner not coming through. 1, 2 attempts. Swiss very quickly back to try and defend.
Again, that fast breakaway from Russia almost paying off there.
And it is in the D. Oh, and it's skiddled through again. Umpires have stopped things. It was Samlotinov in the D, and
blood injury.
Blood here. Marielli, the one making way. Sore one. Bit unfortunate for him. Now a bit of a committee meeting on the restart procedure, which Russia of course will have.
Russia prepared to back off just now. They're quite happy to sit back, force the Swiss into creating that error, counter-attacking thereafter.
Final 10 minutes then. Russia still with a slender lead. If they do win, this may well not be an A-star performance, but in the first game of the week, they'll probably take that and go home ready for the next match. It's the Czech Republic tomorrow. Will be the focus tomorrow. There's 2 games tomorrow and Tuesday. It'll be Group B tomorrow, Group B, and Tuesday. Myrov cut out by Sebastian Schneider. Comes all the way back to Simon Matkowski. Spichkovsky. And started off the comeback. Twisting and turning back with the Swiss and Nick Schwer, who's had a quiet game actually. Talked about his real playmaking skills, which we've seen a lot here in Glasgow if you watched the worldly coverage that we had. Borisov for Puskaryov. Again, trying to utilise the channels and space opening up here. Komarov waiting, but it's going behind him and it's snuck in. And there is the gloss just to take things out of Swiss reach. It is the third, and that should well be job done.
Yeah, overlap coming down the right hand side. Along the baseline. Clatter from behind as he was going down, still managed to put it into the back of the net. Marvellous skill.
So 8 minutes left in the final quarter. That secures things for Russia, who have had a bit of a scare here, certainly at half time. Any energy in the tank for the Swiss to try and rally something in the final stages. Pavel Plachetsky just to confirm the one dozing that in underneath to keep it. Puskaryov now. Little slide, not too much water on the surface in terms of the hoses. We've had plenty of that naturally. I think there might be a little bit more as the day goes on. It's fair at the moment, still a bit grey. About 16 degrees in Glasgow at the moment.
But it's brightening up.
It's a little bit brighter. I just don't like the dark cloud right in front of our eyes. That's the worrying one. And last ditch defending from Sandro Reinhard. Yves Morard with space here for Reinhard now. Who they're looking to dance around in the circle. Too much dancing around.
Yeah, fencing there. Didn't want the Russian to get this tackle in. Knocked his stick out of the way a couple of times.
Borisov. Nikitin in the support, wriggle through for Kai Rowland. Just away by the baseline. Mentioned Russia, Czech Republic is the late game, the 6:30 in the evening game tomorrow, and we focus on this group B. Swiss next, have got Wales. Obviously Wales are playing next today. But Wales really huffed and puffed, a kind of game similar to this, huffed and puffed against Switzerland in the World League One here last year. So it could be tasty again. Swiss will be targeting the league to pick up a win. Some of the Wales side are watching on in the stand while this game finishes up. Trying to smuggle it in, and there's a chance for a second, not quite. Florian Feller with the attempt at goal.
Again, reactions from the keeper there.
Hammered across by Grader. And comes to with a match another player, one or two in the Swiss side that could well reach 50 caps this week. Grader plays his club hockey with Luzera. Hammer across on Hurdle, and he has scored, and the rest of it alive yet in Switzerland came up for him nicely, and that goal scoring man again to make it 3-2, just under 4 minutes left. Still a chance for them.
Lightning reaction there. Lightning reaction as the ball bounced up high off the keeper from the original deflection. Again comes unexpected, just reaches in there, puts it away. Wonderful goal.
Hold on to your hats then, not done and dusted quite yet. There would be some comeback to get something out of it. '40th cap today for Jan Hudel, the 25-year-old. Oh, and it's popped up again for him. And keeper has to make the stop. It surprisingly came to him, and there he was on for a hat-trick. That would have been miraculous. Switzerland may well have a bit of possession here in the final few stages, but they're going to have to quickly revert back to defending for now.
Chaos in the Russian defence there, giving the ball away. Had the chance, chose to go to his reverse, didn't quite come off for him, but wonderful opportunism from the Swiss.
Plenty of instruction going on there. Chris Elst is the head coach, a bit of a change up. I will miss Chris Faust, who was here last year, a bit of a character. Chris Elst now and head coach here in Glasgow this year. Martin just pointing out that he's across to the left, but it's not quite the same Chris Faust on the sidelines. He was a character.
The voice is there, coming from a different position.
Still part of the setup. Well, Russia are doing their best to just tick down the clock a little bit, but it will come back with the Swiss here. 2 minutes to go. What a start we've had in Glasgow. Grader down too much, and that will just zap some time out. Too much for Nicholas Stefan. Stefan, one of the older players on the park. Here is Hurdolfo. Can he bring some magic? Pitch still slippery with all the rain we've had during the course of the game. Nikitin playing with fire a little bit. Kai Rowland controls. Switch of channels, but Kai Rowland looking to try and get it back from Skapersky. Kai Rowland continues. And this has been excellent time management over the last minute or two from Russia here. Not panicked. Tchaikovsky though was under a bit of pressure there, and it's the final minute for Switzerland. One chance they need. It's rather hit and hope, but could find and stay in here for Nick Schwer. Well cut out though from Puskaryov, and that may well do things for the side who have been chasing this goal over the last couple of 3 minutes. Here's Murad Keller. Going to run out of time here, Switzerland. Well, my goodness me, they gave Russia a big scare here. Maybe Switzerland showing that they're maybe a touch better than what their world ranking is for the great year, as we've mentioned. And, well, took the lead. Then had the chance. Jan Hudel's been at Flangel by, but Tchaikovsky and Nikitin in that third quarter. Zetsky as well, just putting things a bit more secure, but Jan Hudel just would not let Russia rest. The side who have came down back into the second tier have got off and running in Group B. Well, a bit of a thriller in the end, not quite the shock though. Maybe one or two would have thought would have happened if Swiss would have taken something from it. Here is the look at the goals, and this was the opener, Jan Hudel. It was a wonderful goal.
Been all about the support play from Jan Hudel there.
Then the third quarter was a devastating one for Russia in terms of how clinical they were from penalty corners. This for 1-1. And then another one as well, not long, well actually towards the end of that third quarter, which turned things right around. Tchaikovsky with the first, Nikitin with the second. And this is where we kind of thought, job done here, third goal for Russia. That probably cemented things, what it did in the end, but it wasn't quite the last goal of the contest. We managed to slide it underneath the keeper, Jetsky. And then this gave the Swiss some life. Wonderful bit of skill to keep it alive from Jan Hudel. Came to him very quickly. And some great goals in show.
Absolutely. Difference between the teams there, I felt. Russia, full press for the second half, for the first part of the second half. Really successful for them. Got the goals they needed to receive. Sat back for the rest of the game. And let Switzerland come back in. Sometimes that's what you just cannot do.
So there it is, 3-2 then to Russia, thanks to Martin for the moment. We'll be back ahead of the next game, which is at 2 o'clock. The Czech Republic take on Wales, another game in Group B. And we'll action with the Ukraine and Portugal and France against Scotland to come in Group A. But we'll be back ahead of the game at 2 o'clock. But for now, the final score then from the first game here of the Euro Hockey Championship 2, Russia 3, Switzerland 2.